Brad. All right, we're going to go ahead and call the Sherwood City Council regular meeting into session, May 21st, 2024 at 7:05 p.m. Welcome, everybody. And we're going to all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you, everybody. Sylvia, roll call.
Mayor Rosner?
Here.
Council President Young?
Here.
Councilor Browse is absent. Councilor Mays?
Here.
Councilor Scott is absent. Councilor Giles?
Here.
Councilor Stankey?
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sylvia. And next item on the agenda is approval of the agenda.
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
A second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of approving the agenda say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Council. On the consent agenda tonight, we have 4 items. We have A, approval of the May 7th, 2024 City Council meeting minutes. Item B is Resolution 2024-030, appointing Rick, I'm going to mispronounce this. Anybody know how to pronounce it? Bobble to the Sherwood Senior Advisory Board. And we have Resolution 2024-031, authorizing the city manager pro tem to enter into a contract with Blackline Inc. for the 2024-2025 Slurry Seal Program. And then item D is Resolution 2024-032, authorizing the city manager pro tem to execute a construction contract for Sunset, Meineke, and Trimble for grind and inlay project.
Move consent.
Second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Council. All right, citizen comments. Sylvia, do we have any citizen comments tonight? All right. Okay, we got one person, Dan Tapman. Hey, Dan, welcome back.
Thank you.
Come on up.
And go Navy.
I'm back again. Okay, name's Dan Tapman, 24351 Southwest Middleton Road, Sherwood. Where am I getting?
You're good.
Okay, should I push the button?
You're good.
No, you're good.
I'm good, okay. Wow. Since we last met, some of us have been doing a little research on clean water services. I don't know if you guys are aware, but they have over $1 billion in assets in Oregon. They have over a $600 million budget for the year, which means they have a lot of money to deal with. And one of the concerns that we have is that because of so much money and so much influence, that they may have lost some sensitivity to the plight of a few people that only have $200,000 or $100,000 to pay for this pipeline. And they have a possibility of losing their investments because of the law that Oregon has, that if you have a pipeline within 300 feet of your property, you have to hook up. So if I have a $250,000 loan on my property from Clean Water Services and I lose my septic system, I can't get a permit. I have to hook up. I don't have a $250,000. And on top of that, I have to pay on the permits and the fees to hook up. So consequently, I'd have to sell my property or lose it because of this process that they have right now. And that's our concern. And some of my neighbors, of course, are like me. We're retired. We're living from paycheck to paycheck or what we've put away. And there's just no way that we could afford this situation. We don't know what you guys can do about it, if anything. We've been in contact with the county appraiser. Her name is, got it here somewhere. Christine Adams Wanberg. Her phone number is 503-846-8798. The reason I bring her up is because she's been told by Washington County legal offices that she cannot do an audit. Clean Water Services. Why not? You guys will have an opportunity to do an audit because they're charging you 20% of the cost of this trunk line, Brookman trunk line. And you'll be responsible for spending your citizens' tax money for this part of the pipeline, and we don't have any control over it. We are told how much we will spend, how much we will be billed, what the interest will be, where it will be, and when it will be. The people that are on these 22 properties do not have any input to cold water services.
All right, thank you, Dan. Appreciate your time again.
There'll be more.
Just real quickly, for those who might be listening, Clean Water Services is a organization that's run by the same commissioners that run the county that deal with a lot of our wastewater and set regulations around stormwater as well. So we are having some conversations with the county, trying to understand how they got to the numbers they got to. But as Dan pointed out, we're not the controlling agency, but we're willing to ask questions and do a little advocacy for you. So, yeah, awesome. All right. So, any other citizen comments? Nobody online. Great. We will go ahead and move on to item number 7, which is presentations. We got we got a couple fun things tonight. This is a fun time of year. So the first thing we're going to do is talk about the If I Was a Mayor contest. So this is something that we used to do a long time ago. We brought this back last year, so we had our first winners in a long time last year. This year, we ran the contest again, and we had some great entries, and we're going to talk about 3 of our youth in Sherwood today who won some prizes and deserve a little recognition for their hard work. And just, so we're going to talk about, first we're going to talk about, well, let me step back a little. How do I want to do this? I know how I'm going to do it. We're going to talk about second place first. So we do have a second place winner tonight, Reagan Falconer. Did I get that right, Reagan? Why don't you kind of go ahead and come on up, Reagan. So Reagan submitted a poster, and I think all of you may have gotten that, and in the contest came in second place. Thank you so much for submitting an entry and taking the time to do that. And tell us a little bit about your entry, and you might get a few questions, but we'll keep it painless for you.
Well, practically what it is about is like improving the environment. So like adding more trees to like and making more forests so the animals have more places to live, and planting more wildflowers to like save the bees. And then there's like adopt a block where you can clean up trash, like adopt a block and clean up the trash.
Nice.
Awesome. So what made you decide to, how did you find out about this contest, and what made you decide to enter?
I found it out at school, and why I wanted to do it was I wanted to because Sherwood it's really beautiful, but it has like trash and the trees are getting cut down, and I just like want to reveal how beautiful it is.
Awesome. Any other questions?
What grade are you in, Reagan?
I'm in 5th.
Great job.
Very good job.
I was
Go
going to
ahead.
say, we do have a trash pickup day, but I think your parents and everybody will agree that if you want to clean up your block, you can. So you don't have to wait for government to do that because people. That is awesome. I was going to say, and if you're really nice, then they'll let you plant flowers too. So that is really great because you're right. We live in a beautiful place and it's up to us to keep it that way. So I'm glad that you brought that to our attention.
So, well, thank you. Again, thank you so much. So in a second here, I just want to talk about one more thing. We're all going to come down here and get a picture with you. If that's okay, can we take your picture?
Yeah.
Okay, good. But the other thing I want to tell you, so we have some of the local businesses have contributed some gift cards and stuff for you, so we'll give that to you here in a second too. The other thing I want to let you know is this year we're going to start a new tradition that our winners of the If I Were a Mayor contest get to join the mayor in some of the ceremonial duties we do. So for instance, we have a council float in the Robin Hood Parade and in the Christmas parade that we do at the tree lighting ceremony. So you can ride in the float with us, and you can bring your siblings along if you would like. And have you ever seen that float? We throw candy to all of
Yeah.
everybody.
Don't, we hand candy.
That's right, we
there.
hand candy to everybody. But you can join us on those floats, and then at our tree lighting ceremony, I'm hoping to have the three of you join me up on the stage, and you guys will get to light the tree this year. So does that sound like fun? Yeah. Okay, good. So let's get a picture, and then we'll give you a certificate.
Lots of up and down.
Get in a little bit. Yep. All right. Ready? 1, 2, 3. One more. Perfect.
Mom, do you want to come up here and get a better?
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. If I wasn't clear about this before, we have three categories. We have grade school, high school, and middle school. Our second one we're going to talk about tonight is Addison Selby. Addison, you want to come up? So Addison is our first place winner in the middle school category. And Addison did a great essay. Thank you so much. So we're gonna do a little bit different for the winners. I'll get into that in a second. But for now, why don't you tell us a little bit about your essay and why you decided to join this contest?
I joined this contest because last year one of my teachers showed us about it and it sounded fun to me. And some of the main points of my essay were like making a community pool, because I myself are a competitive swimmer and I have many friends that also do it, and we all have to go to different cities to compete, and our high school can't have a water polo team and we can't have home meets. And some of the other points were like the new business place next to Symposium is like very different than all the other buildings. Like, it's very modern and very like flat, or the other ones are more like Tudor styled and are like brick and are more old, and I feel like it looks kind of out of place. And then my last thing was about like helping shoplifting in the stores by like having a system that can help prevent it and help limit it to help save businesses money.
Wow.
Awesome. Well, I love the fact that you had such a diverse spread of ideas that you were talking about in terms of things we could do in the city and how to improve things, which was great, because as city councilors and mayors, that's kind of how we have to think. We can't just focus on one thing. We have to think about a lot of things. So I really like that about your essay. So congratulations. Any questions?
I don't know if you have to be 18 for this or not, but we do have an opening on the Planning Commission, which determines the style of how, anyway. But that's great, because a lot of people just think things happen, And then really all of that code about what buildings can go where and how they look and everything like that is established in code. And then all of a sudden we just say, well, does this plan meet the code or not? And sometimes you get things that look different because they technically meet the code. And so, so we've got to adjust it, or, you know, everything for the future if we don't want stuff that looks like that. And that's all done by the planning department and the planning commission. So thanks for pointing that out.
I think that we should keep her name as we're going to be reviewing our Old Town standards soon. And so come back and give us your ideas if we don't want to see any more buildings like that.
No, it's great, and you may not know this, but in our goal-setting session, we talked about taking a look at our downtown overlay and our code that covers all that, because you're not the only one who's brought up that building just doesn't look like the rest of the buildings in our downtown core, so it's a great observation. Any questions on this side? Great, so we're going to do something a little different since you are a first place winner for middle school. We're going to actually have you come up here and sit here, and we have a name tag, I believe, for you.
So you get to sit in the mayor's seat,
Get us.
get your photo taken behind the dais.
So I'm going to
You're gonna get a special-
temporarily step down here. And we'll put your name.
Actually, you should
All
sit
in
right here,
favor?
Tim.
I can
to
sit
be in
over
the
there.
pictures.
Yeah.
All in favor of a new mayor? Say aye.
This out of the way, too.
And you have the gavel, so you can,
You can go ahead and try the gavel out if you'd like.
Send us home early.
Woo! Meeting adjourned.
All right, ready, 1, 2, 3, perfect. Got it.
Awesome.
And Mom, if you want to get up and get a better picture.
Find new ways to embarrass kids.
We'll try to cancel on this. Yeah.
Put it there. He'll grab it.
and
Mayor, that's a temporary one. We'll have a new one, an original one coming for her.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
great. And she's gonna get a better one later of
The
these.
original one.
And a frame. Explain
Yeah.
what she's going to get after all this.
Yes, I will.
Oh.
Okay. She already knows. And this has something to do with colors. All right, and Councilor Young was alluding to it. We're going to take those pictures and put together a big framed picture with your picture sitting at the dais here, and it will have, we're getting an actual, not a paper one, but a real one made, and that'll be framed in the picture too. And so as soon as we have those ready, we'll get that to you. And you'll get your picture on the wall next to the City Council and City Hall for the year. So super fun. Thanks again.
Great.
All right, so we're going to move along, and so we're going to talk about our grade school first place winner, and I know I'm going to get your name wrong, so you can correct me when you get up here, but Prakrithi, did I get that right? Close enough? Come on up. So congratulations on winning first place in the grade school side of things. I really loved your poster. For those that don't know, for the grade school level kids, they do a poster, and you did an amazing poster. Covered a lot of territory too. But why don't you tell us a little bit about your poster and why you decided to try this contest out?
First of all, I added a community garden because I think that we should have a community garden here so that people who are poor, there are people everywhere, and they could come and get herbs and vegetables and fruits and those stuff, and they could also try like different things. Like my family, we're Indian, so we have Indian herbs, and they could try those, and it would be fun. And then
next over there is like a model city library. I think we should have that here because there are. I added a few things in there. Yeah. Thanks. I really love STEM, and I think we should add like STEM things here. There are STEM Saturdays. I remember last year in the summer there were STEM Saturdays the last Saturday each month, and me and my brother would go, and it would be really fun. But I think we should have it every Saturday, because even if there's people that can't come that Saturday, they could come another Saturday, and it would be really fun for them. It would also help with their knowledge. I also think there should be a read to animals thing in the library, because I love animals. And it would calm the animals, and it could help the kids who are there by making them actually social, and yeah, it would help them. And then I have a environment friendly city. I think that we should have a park and ride that should be like free, so you can park your car and like go around with your car, and it shouldn't be like money. And then for the model safe city, I think that there should be kids that could help around in the city, and they could get prizes once they pick up trash, and that would get kids more motivated because they would get prizes, and it would help our city, because I've seen some trash somewhere places sometimes, and it would help the environment as long also making the kids feel happy that they earned something, and they could get acknowledged kind of like this.
Awesome. Well, you did a wonderful job, and you also covered a wide range of topics, which was amazing. You have very neat handwriting too,
Thanks.
by the way. But no, great job.
And how awesome a job did she really do?
Awesome. It's my favorite word, by the way.
Because why?
We're getting
We're not-
I know, I'm poking the bear.
Yeah. Anyways, but yes, so yeah, congratulations. Are there any questions from council?
No, I love that you are a big fan of STEM. I'm the counselor that meets every month with the library representatives and or the council, and so I'm going to bring that idea to them to see if we can get it more often. I do know, I don't know, have you ever heard of the Library of Things?
No.
So in the back of the library, next time you go in, behind the desk, they've got a few of them up there, but you can check out 3D printing pens, you can check out robotics kits, little Raspberry Pi sensors and things that you can program. There's Lego robotics. There's a lot of things that you can check out of the library that might help you even at home to increase your STEM knowledge and stuff like that. But I'm going to talk to them about that and see what we can do about making that more often.
That would be amazing.
All right. So good, great idea.
Yeah, you just, it's amazing. That's right.
And what grade are you?
5th grade.
5th grade also.
Nice.
Right. Off to middle school soon.
Any questions? Yeah. Well, I'm going to say it again. Amazing job. And before we bring you up here for pictures and all that fun stuff, I also want to, you already know this, but many in the room may not know this, but the city level winners are submitted to the Oregon Mayors Association, and there's a statewide competition. And Prakriti, did I get it right? Yes, is our statewide winner for grade school level.
Wow.
So,
That is awesome.
yes.
Super awesome. Super awesome.
So that is just an amazing accomplishment. And
The best grade school
Mayor.
in the
the
state
yes.
poster.
Yes.
Wow. You know how many cities are in Oregon? Over 240 cities.
Yeah.
You beat out a lot of grade school posters.
As has been the trend lately. We've had
That
lots
is
of,
awesome.
Sherwood has had the student
The
governor,
youth governor, kid governor.
We have
yeah.
amazing students in this town.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great job.
Yeah. All of you are amazing.
Very
Anyways,
impressed.
so I have a certificate for you, but we got to get your picture first up here. So if you want to come on up.
With a name tag.
Sorry. Thank you.
No,
Come on up here.
You need to come and sit up behind the dais. You get to take the mayor's seat.
So we made this up for you. It says mayor on there. So I'm gonna, before you sit down, I'm gonna stick this out here. And we're gonna have you sit down. And go ahead and grab that gavel and
Bang it.
gavel us into session here. There you go.
Great job. Yes, lots of photos.
Get
Dad.
all the cameras, Dad.
Awesome. You want to bang that gavel again?
Tell us we're leaving. Awesome.
All right. Good job.
Thank you.
Great job.
So I'm gonna have you come out here because we got two things for you. So as we're gonna just stand back here with the mics, okay? So we have your certificate for winning the contest, and you're gonna get that same framed picture and everything that we talked about earlier. So congratulations. Let's get a quick picture with your certificate. Right, and then we have a second one for winning the statewide competition. And
Awesome.
so for the statewide winners, the Oregon Mayor's Association is having their conference in July in Klamath Falls at the Running Y Ranch. And you and your family are invited down there for that weekend for a ceremony to get percentage of your work down there. And I think there's a cash prize too, isn't there?
There is.
$500.
Ooh.
Wow.
Awesome. So I'm gonna give this to you too. And we will get you the big framed one as soon as those come in. And we'll let all of you know when the parades are coming up and how to, if you want to ride in the parade floats, how to do that. We'll reach out to you right before Christmas for the tree lighting ceremony so you can come up and help me light the Christmas tree.
Awesome.
Congratulations. All right, can I be mayor again?
I
All in
really
favor?
enjoyed
I think they do a better job.
I think you're right.
our youth winners.
I knew I opened myself up for that one. Anyways, congratulations to all three of you. Thanks for your hard work. And we're going to have the rest of our meeting. It's going to be dry and boring, so don't feel like you have to stay. So if you would like to leave, that's okay. Anyways,
No offense.
thank you.
I'm sure there's homework to be done and
Yeah. Treats to be
Thank you.
had.
All right, we're going to go ahead and move on to our next item under presentations, item B. It's a proclamation proclaiming May 19th through the 25th as the 2024 National Public Works Week. So this is something we do. I have a proclamation here I'm going to read, but to honor different departments in our city. We do one for the police. We do one for the library. Tonight we're going to do one for Public Works. I just, before I start this, I just want to say we have, I'm going to say it, an amazing Public Works department. I always joke that, and you guys have heard me say this a million times, but I'll say it again. I know when I'm leaving Sherwood because that's when the potholes start. The staff does a great job maintaining our roads, maintaining our parks. We have some of the most beautiful parks in the region.
Yep, and street right of ways. I mean, it's amazing. The streets just get ugly and everything. Yeah.
like a staff laughing because they hear all the time. We always say that.
But it's during the big ice storm that we had, I flew in during that, and I was giving the mayor of Tualatin a hard time because I could tell when I left Tualatin and came into Sherwood driving back from the airport because all of a sudden the road conditions got better. So you guys, everyone in Public Works does an amazing job, and I really appreciate their hard work.
How good of a job do they do?
Amazing, fantastic, exceptional. But they do a great job, and I really appreciate what they do. And I think more than anything, you can tell they just care about doing a great job for the city. And it's not just that department, but we're highlighting Public Works tonight, but they really do care and do a great job. So I'm going to go ahead and read this proclamation. Proclamation, National Public Works Week, May 19th through the 25th, 2024. Whereas public work services are important to health, safety, and well-being of Sherwood citizens, and whereas these services can only be provided through dedicated public works professionals, including government and private sector employees who oversee water distribution, water treatment, sewer systems, equipment services, public property, solid waste, recycling services, city streets, and park maintenance. These employees are the city's silent heroes who guarantee that these essential services are always working, and the support and understanding, the support and understanding of an informed citizenry is vital to the efficient operation of a public works system. And whereas the year 2024 marks the 64th annual Public Work Weeks sponsored by the American Public Works Association. And now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Tim Rosner, Sherwood, Oregon Mayor, do hereby proclaim May 19th through the 25th, 2024 is National Public Works Week in Sherwood, and urge all citizens to recognize and thank public work employees for their dedicated service they provide. So anyways, thank you. I think we have two Public Works people here tonight, so thank you, and please pass our thanks along, and we do appreciate it. So, all right. I'm not going to sign this with a green pen. I'll sign it after the meeting. All right, so we're going to go ahead and move on to a public hearing. This will be our second reading. Sylvia, you want to read us into this public hearing?
The Sherwood City Council will hold a public hearing this evening to receive testimony on ordinance 2024-001, vacating city public right-of-way located in an unnamed street within the Tonquin employment area east of Southwest Tonquin Road. The public hearing this evening will be conducted as follows. Staff will present the staff report. Questions, if any, by the City Council for staff. We will then receive written testimony. We will then open the public hearing for testimony, and the time will be limited to 4 minutes per person. We will then close the public hearing, and no other comments will be heard from the public or the applicant. Final comments by staff. Questions of staff, if any, by the council, followed by council discussion. This is the second hearing before the City Council on this item. A decision may be made by the council at the close of this hearing, or the matter may be continued to a time and date certain. If the matter is continued to a time and date certain, this is the only notice of that date that you will receive. If you wish to speak, please fill out a request to speak form and submit it to the city recorder prior to the time the public hearing is open for testimony. The mayor will recognize people who wish to speak. Any comments must be addressed through the mayor. When you come forward, please state your name and place of residence for this record, as the hearing will be recorded.
All right, thank you, Sylvia. So I think we're ready for a staff report, Jason.
Yeah, Jason Waters, city engineer for the city of Sherwood. Thank you, Mayor, councilors. Thanks for leaving the hearing open. We did check in with the county and receive written comment back from them that they don't have any interest in this vacation. So that was the last kind of step for us. No additional comments. I don't really have any other updates for that. We might beat the hearing time from the last meeting, speed-wise. So any questions, let me know.
Yeah, thank you, Jason. Any questions for Jason? Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. And and you covered the written testimony, so I think we're good there. Does the applicant want to? You're good. All right. Awesome. So we'll go ahead and open the public hearing up. Do we have any comments?
No comments.
Sylvia? Anything on the internet or on YouTube? Great. So we will close the public hearing. Just ripping right through this. Any additional questions for staff?
Seems pretty straightforward.
All right. Well, I think we can move right to a motion.
I move we read, caption, and adopt ordinance 2024-001.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Do we need to do a roll call, Sylvia? Yeah, go ahead.
Ordinance 2024-001, vacating city public right-of-way located in an unnamed street within the Tonquin employment area east of Southwest Tonquin Road. Councilor Stankey, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilor Giles?
Aye.
Councilor Scott is absent. Councilor Mays?
Aye.
Councilor Browse is absent. Councilor President Young?
Aye.
Thank you. And Mayor Rosner?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sylvia. Ordinance passes. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Jason. All right, and we will move on to the city manager report. Craig is not with us tonight, and
I'm the fill-in.
Ty is our chief, is filling in. So do you have anything you want to read out to us?
Just a couple events. We had the shred event at the PD this last weekend. That was successful. Obviously, we do that periodically so that people can safely dispose of their paperwork. And then last night we had Bowl with the Cop over at Langer's, which was fun. Got to compete with some of the youngsters out there, and I think everybody had a good time. And aside from that, I just want to echo the public works sentiment. I know you two are the only back there, but they are fantastic, and they make our jobs a lot easier, especially during the inclement weather and having our parking lots and our roads cleared for us to be able to respond. So well deserved. So thanks. Other than that, that's all I got.
Any questions for the chief?
I told him I was going to come up with a really hard question, but I couldn't think of any, so.
Good.
Did you bowl yourself yesterday?
I did not. I'm limited on my weight still of what I can lift. So
Fair enough. Okay.
That was actually going to be my question, was how many shoulders have been thrown out by your officers that don't bowl normally?
You know, surprisingly, we have some pretty good bowlers. I was shocked.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
It was like they've been secretly over their plane.
Wow.
That's why I declined the invite to actually bowl, but I did enjoy the event.
So acting city manager, do you want to reiterate the news from Monday about the EPA grant?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I can. Let me pull it up right here. Unless that's probably going to be a council.
I was going to cover that.
I know, I was putting you on the spot, so it's something that was out of the ordinary. I know the mayor was probably going to talk about it, but I was just...
yeah, I got it here, but I'll let you guys have that moment.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, since Councilor Mays spilled the beans, just to let everybody know that might be listening, I think most of on council already know, we got awarded a $5 million EPA grant, which is huge. We've been trying to get this grant for a long time. When Craig told me about it, we thought it was spam. So we were like checking the email address and Googling all the people on the email to make sure it was valid, but it is valid. We got the official letter. That's going to go toward a brownfield cleanup site, the old tannery site on Oregon Street, which not only was it a tannery, they also dealt in lead batteries there too. So there's heavy metals, lead.
Lead battery recycling, tannery, a great combination.
Yeah, there's PFAS issues out there, so it needs to be cleaned up. And as I've told several people, it's really a trifecta for the city because we get to clean up the site. It will help protect the wildlife refuge, which butts up right against it. We'll create a new location to relocate our public works facility, which will open up to 4 acres in our downtown core for redevelopment for housing and jobs. So it's a really great project for the city. Very excited about it.
And as part of the cleanup, at the end of the cleanup, there's an opportunity to do kind of an interpretive center, art, part of the cleanup. Great added benefit that we'll be able to pursue more money.
Yeah.
To do.
And yeah, that's a really good point because we can leverage this to go out and get additional monies from the state, et cetera. So huge.
Before you do council comments, while you're talking about grants, why don't you talk about the one we received the big check from last
Oh yeah, and
Thursday.
then a second grant. We may have mentioned this before, but it's worth mentioning again. We also got, it's not a grant. I'm going to use a term that we haven't heard a lot from Washington, D.C. a lot, but earmarks are back. They're a little different than last time around, but Representative Congresswoman Salinas and her staff and our staff did an excellent job working with her, and we actually got $1 million grant written into the ag bill that passed back in February, was signed into law, and that's going to go toward expanding our broadband network into rural areas around the city. So that was another huge win for the city and for our broadband system. So I can't thank our federal team enough for getting that across the finish line. It's not easy. There's a lot of competition for those dollars at the federal level. So they did a great job, and staff did a great job. So great. Anything else, Ty?
Nope. The only other, well, yeah, I say no, and then I grab the mic. The only other thing of noteworthy is Music on the Green's coming. hopefully I didn't spoil that for any of you guys. So looks like musiconthegreen.net is where you can find out the dates, and I'm assuming who's going to be playing. So check that out.
Awesome. Thank you. Any other questions for the chief? All right, we'll roll right into.
Oh, I do have a question.
You got a question?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Have we, do we know who this person is over here?
I was getting to that.
Oh, okay. It was kind of staff related, so I didn't.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
all right.
I know. You're in a hurry.
We've introduced
okay.
him a few.
Just helping you, poking the bear.
I think we've
did
reintroduced him a
introduce
couple
him
of
last
times.
Oh, I apologize. I wasn't here 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. So you didn't
See
watch.
what
You didn't
happens?
watch the meeting. Then.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a question for Chief. So I think last week, maybe a Girl Scout came to the PD and got to play with Miss B a little bit, and what did they do?
Yes, they did. Local Girl Scout reached out. She, over the years, has been selling Girl Scout cookies and accumulated about $2,000 that she was able to donate to something that she had a passion for. And she reached out to us, and she really loves our canine program. So she got to come down and see Mila and Miss B, and Sergeant Jentz actually did a great demonstration for her, and they got to hang out. They got a tour of the PD, and subsequently we got $2,000 donated to the Sherwood Police Foundation, which is fantastic, and it will all be for the canine program.
Yep.
Thank you for reminding me.
That's awesome. Great. Awesome. Any other questions for the chief? Do you have anything else you want to add, Councilor Mays?
I'll wait.
Okay. I was going to point out that Sebastian is with us tonight, and along with Ryan, our interim attorney that will be covering for us while Ryan is in Kosovo for the year. So thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you.
Anything for us? Any updates or anything?
I don't have any updates.
Because we don't usually ask the
For
city
those
attorney for
listening,
updates.
Ryan concurred by nodding his head.
I'm being quiet tonight.
All right, we'll go ahead and roll right into council announcements, and we'll start on this end tonight.
Right. The Planning Commission met last week and had the second reading of the climate-friendly equitable community regulations that they were reviewing. There was much discussion around the impact to the city and disdain for what is happening with that for Sherwood. The commission did vote to recommend it to the council. It was a somber 4-0 vote, with the chair abstaining from the vote actually even. So they understand that what we've chosen to do as a council to direct them is the lesser of two evils, but it still isn't quite what we would prefer for our city. We will hear the first reading July 16th for council, and then the second on August 6th, and the implementation date has been extended to September 13th instead of June 30th. So these readings, if it does pass at the second one, we'll have at least a month before it's due to be implemented. And that's all I have for tonight.
Thank you. Councilor Mays.
Yes, I have things. Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate the opportunity to give an update. The the temporary city charter review committee has finished meeting. They met for the third time last week, in which they prepared a report, advanced it to council in the work session today, which we all heard and considered and advanced one topic for future resolution. And we'll further do some more research on the other two. I appreciate the service of those people that participated on that committee. Last Thursday, we joined everyone on the dais in first of our budget committee meetings, and we'll have our second one this Thursday. Very exciting. Our acting city manager did a great presentation on the general fund, and we'll move on to conversations about the funds, the other funds, and our urban renewal budget proposed budget. Yesterday was the monthly Cultural Arts Board meeting, committee meeting, and that was, it went well, and they are very excited about the art that will be installed later this year at the Oregon Street Roundabout. They reviewed that. They're very excited about the EPA grant and the opportunities of leveraging that grant and doing a park/interpretive trail, something on part of the open space that will be a remnant that people can get on with that project, and not the encapsulated soil or encased soil that you can't tread on. And there's going to be a art walk event coming up. I do not have the date, but they're super excited about that. It's next month.
Awesome. Thank you.
And that's the end of my points for the day.
Okay, we're going to hold you to that. Taylor.
All right, I got a bunch of announcements as well. So the library, the WCCLS passed a preliminary budget. Our current Sherwood board also did some visioning and planning for the upcoming year. The school board adopted some new graduation requirements that will start with the freshmen for this year. Essentially, for those that are listening, go watch the meeting, but it really simplifies it, and it makes it so that students that are graduating have a lot more chances for graduating with honors if they take the advanced classes, but they can do it in a number of different fields so that they're not required to do the exact ones that everybody else is. They can pick up advanced classes and things that they might be interested in as long as our school offers them. So it's a little bit more customizable, but it's also something that the students will know well in advance, and be able to talk about it on awards and applications for college and things like that, whereas now they don't really know if they're going to qualify for something until pretty much the term right before graduation. And so it makes it so they're not eligible for some awards and talking about it like that. So it simplifies it, and it makes it more in alignment with what our school is trying to do. We have coffee with Courtney Neuron. I don't know if anybody else is going to talk about that, but June 1st at 11 a.m. We could talk to our state representative about at the senior center there, June 1st. Also June 1st, we've got the Pride celebration at Stella Olson Park. It's a bunch of bands and food and festival type things there. Let's see. Back to the school board. Wednesday, tomorrow night, they have a special meeting at 7 o'clock where they're announcing our new superintendent. So I don't know who it is either. So you'll get to meet them tomorrow. And then Thursday, they have their budget meeting as well, starting at 6. So if you want to go, you're spoiled for choice, depending on which budget meeting you want to go to. If you want to see the cities, ours is that night, and the school
Battle of
districts.
budget meetings.
Divide and conquer.
Yeah. Anyway, so that is my list.
Thank you, sir. Councilor Young.
Yeah. Almost 2 weeks ago, I attended the Bike and Roll Day at Middleton Elementary School, which was really a lot of fun, watching kids bike, walk, their scooters, and it was thankfully just beautiful weather. So it was fun watching all the parents walk up to the school, and we had Joy and the planning department was there also with a bunch of the school staff handing out lots of city swag. You could get stickers, you could get this little reflector thing you turn on. I came to my Wednesday meeting all stickered up with blinking lights on from reflectors you can put on your bike. So that was a really fun day. And then I attended the Main Street Wine Walk, which I think was really well attended, and I hadn't heard there were any issues down there. I think from hearing from everybody else, it was just really great time. And so kudos, the Main Street organization really had that well organized. It was a great event. And then, let's see. The chamber breakfast last Tuesday morning, it was at Perlo Construction was hosting it, and it was at in one of the big open new warehouses of the Sherwood Commerce Center. Very big warehouse, very echoey in that building. But anyways, they did a great job presenting that project and the future project coming up. Yeah, so that was good. And then on Wednesday, I attended at the Sherwood PD, the swearing in of Officer Caraway. He comes to us from another local organization, so we got a lateral, which is great, as we all know. That gives us less training time and gets our new officers out on the street faster. Him and his family also live in Sherwood, so it was kind of a good move for them. So his family and kids were there. They were also at Bowling with a Cop last night, which was a lot of fun. And I think I didn't make it to the police advisory board because we had budget committee here. And then Friday, I attended my last League of Oregon Cities General Governance Committee meeting, where we're talking about things to move forward to the League of Oregon Cities board, to get put onto a slate of things to get out to the cities, to vote on, to have as the league priorities for the next upcoming session of things they want to advocate for. One of the big things we talked about in that session was immunity. What's the word?
Recreational immunity.
Recreational immunity, and how even though there's benefits, it's still gonna, there's still, yeah, a brief fix, there's still gonna be some problems. So that was one of the big talking points there. So that was the last meeting. We got through that committee with 3 meetings, and we still had 2 potential ones, but we were able to finish it up in 3 meetings. So
awesome, thank you. So I have a few items. I also attended the wine walk. It was amazing. But it was great. The Main Street did a great job, and it was really well organized. You could buy wine at one of the stations at a business, and they would put it behind the counter and run it up to the main place. So
how many bottles did you buy?
0.
Zero.
But
how do you know it worked?
But anyways, what I was trying to explain was,
because I have experience with how that runner worked.
we watched it happen. But you could buy wine at different places, and then just collect it all at one place at the end of the evening. They did a really good job. I'm really impressed, and they also had a similar event in Tigard.
Well, and the goal also is it got people into our local businesses downtown, which I think was great, watching people shop.
Yeah, and I talked to a lot of people from outside of town who came and had a great time. Excuse me. As far as League of Oregon Cities, we wrapped up the telecom committee, a similar process as the finance committee that Kim was talking about. On Thursday morning, the Westside Economic Alliance is having their mayor's forum. So myself and some other mayors will be speaking at that. If you want to attend, just go to their website and sign up.
The most popular meeting of the year for Westside Economic Alliance.
Yep, it'll be Washington County mayors all up on the stage, and the chance to ask us questions about regional issues and challenges that we're all facing.
And they're making it longer this year because it's always so brief that there's not time for the question and answer.
That's right. So it should be a good event. It was a lot of fun last year. I think it was a good move making it longer. I went with the staff. They did a presentation on the Sherwood West concept plan to the Metro Urban Growth Report stakeholder group. They did an amazing job, fielded a lot of questions. Generally, the feedback was really good from that group. And we have a meeting scheduled with MPAC, which is the Metro Policy Advisory Committee, which I also sit on. They'll be presenting to them. And then we have a work session scheduled with the Metro Council to present it to them as well. So we're actively working with Metro on that potential expansion. Had a WCCC, Washington County Coordinating Committee meeting. The big highlight I want to point out from that is the county just approved a budget where they took 2.5% out of the MISTIP funds and to fund general operations out of the general fund. Why is that important? MISTIP is Major Street Transportation Improvement Program. I think I got that right. And that originated in a levy back in the early 90s that everyone voted on, and that was money that was supposed to go to transportation projects and road projects in the county. For instance, this year, the $14 million we got for Edie Road is coming from that VISTIP program. The county this year and last year decided to, I'm going to use the term, raid those funds to pay for it because they're having some problems with their budget. So the WCCC committee, we talked about it in the meeting, and we're going to be drafting a letter to the county on that subject and asking that in this coming year that there's a more collaborative process with the mayors and any conversations about potentially taking money out of those accounts.
Yeah. So last year's budget was and this year's budget are the only instances in which the county has rated this dedicated funding stream in the 30 years plus that's existed.
Yeah.
Very disappointing.
Yeah, it's very disappointing. So we're, myself and the other mayors are going to work with the county to see if we can get that changed. So some work to do there. The Metro Council, myself and with help city staff was lobbying the Metro Council recently because they were looking at their rates for solid waste, and they voted against our recommendations to raise tipping fees 11.95%. What's tipping fee? Just to keep it simple, that's a fee that Metro charges our hauler to dump loads. It's a regional tax that funds Metro operations on their waste side. But then the direct result of that is it will have a trickle-down effect to the rates that our citizens pay. So we lobbied hard that they not increase it that much this year. We understand they have to go up to cover inflation and those types of things, but 11.95% was just too much.
So for clarity,
yeah,
they were proposing that, and we delayed it. Have they voted since subsequently?
They proposed it. We were successfully able to delay it and got them a lot more information, but in the end, they still decided to vote for it. So it was 6 in favor and 1 abstained from the vote. So anyway, we'll continue to work with Metro on that because, when you're raising rates, 11.95 could translate into a 2 to 4% increase depending on what size container you have. But when you keep doing that year over year, it starts to add up and gets significant. So we'll continue to work with Metro on that. And I think that's all I got.
Here's your gavel.
All right. Unless there's anything else for the good of the order, a little pause because I know you want to leave. There you go. Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Did you see
I had